Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another film review. Tonight we're looking at a haunted horror film called The Others. Now I picked this up for my birthday. This is the 4K edition, released by Studio Canal. It's been out a number of years. I'm sure this came out in the sort of like maybe the late sort of 90s. Not quite sure. It stars Nicole Kidman, and it's a very, very strange story, but a very wonderful story at the same time. I believe it's based just around the 1940s, sort of like the World War II sort of time, as Nicole Kidman's living in this mansion on her own, pretty much, with her two children. She's got a son and a daughter, and apparently her husband's out at war. She's living in this house with her two children, and she is advertised for some new servants for the house, and three new employees turn up at the house, including the incredible Eric Sykes. Yes, Eric Sykes is in this film, which is fantastic. This has got an amazing English cast. It's more of a British film than anything else, to be honest. But Nicole Kidman plays a sort of stuck-up kind of woman. She's really sort of quite upper class and stuck up with it. And so these three characters come knocking the door. And she believes that they're there for the jobs of waitress, cook and gardener. And so they've all arrived, and she shows them in and starts giving them a little tour. And one of the young girl of the young woman of the three can't talk. Apparently she's a mute. And she starts giving them a tour of the house. And she behaves rather bizarrely when she's showing them around the room. So she'll take them into one room and lock the door behind her. And then she will go to the next room with them and lock the door behind them. And she tells them this is something that they must do when they're going through the house. They must lock each door behind them. And I'll tell you why in a minute. And she starts sort of like showing them around the house. And then she tells them where they're going to sleep. She says the girl and the woman can sleep in the attic. And poor Eric Sykes has to sleep in the shed. Okay, so that's where he's going to be boarding. And then she asks them if they want to meet the children. And they said, yeah, of course. So she takes, after ordering Eric Sykes to the garden, she then takes the two women to meet the girls. But she orders them to close all the curtains and the blinds and everything in the shutters. And so they do, so they close all them, and then she sort of like lights an old sort of Victorian oil lamp, which she seems to carry around with her a lot. And then she explains to them that the children have this rare illness, that they are sort of like almost allergic to light, and they cannot have any light more brighter than like the lamp, because they start coming out in blisters and burning. So anyway, so eventually we get to see the two children, and they're very pretty little kiddies, and she introduces them to the two staff and says, you know, this is going to be your new nanny. And then sort of like the next day, we see them in the kitchen, and the nanny's sort of giving them breakfast, and the two kiddies, they're holding back on some secret. They're trying to tell her there's something, some sort of secret, because all the other staff just upped and left. They didn't even claim their last wage or anything. They just up and left. So there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. And so the story sort of progresses, and then the mother catches the children just before they're going to tell her some sort of secret. And then she pours the new nanny into a separate room and talks to her, and she tells them about. She says that the postman normally comes every Tuesday, and she went to check for the post, and there was nothing there. The only thing that was there was a letter that she posted to go off last week requesting new staff. So she didn't ask her, how did you know about these jobs if the letter hasn't gone anywhere? And then the nanny just said, well, to be honest, we just knocked per se, just in case you've got work. And then it turns out that these 3 staff members used to live in this house. They were previous staff in the house, and they've come back there. And there's some sort of dark secret going on with these sort of it's very, very strange, because Nicole Kidman's very strict, and she's sort of we see her sort of teaching the kids school, but she's teaching them very strange things. She's teaching them about 4 different sort of sides of hell and this sort of thing, and it's a very crazy kind of thing. And she gets them to sort of like learn passages from books and learn them by heart and this sort of thing. And the young lad is very sort of like anxious because he's a very young boy, and she has to take the other her daughter to another room so they can learn separately, and they don't want to be parted because they said that they get scared when they're parted, and she tries to comfort him. So she's quite loving, but she's very, very strange, and there's some hidden secret. So what is this secret that she's hiding? Are these children real? Or what's happening? What's happened to the father? What is she hiding from this house? There's something to do with this house. You need to watch it and find out, because I'm not going to tell you any more synopsis. But it's a very, very intriguing story, and the plot sort of unfolds as the film goes on. It gives you little hints and little story drops as it goes along. So that's all I'm going to tell you. What do I think of the others? It's an amazing film. I loved this film when it came out when I saw it at the cinema, and I had it on VHS when it came out on VHS, and I've not had it since. So I think it came out on DVD but not Blu-ray, so it's jumped a generation, and now it's come out on 4K, but this does also include now the Blu-ray of the film. The pluses of the film: it looks stunning. It looks stunning. They've caught the period really, really well, just like The Awakening. It's a very similar look of film to The Awakening. So if you enjoyed that look, you'll enjoy this. And it's a very sort of a haunting story, very mysterious and very sort of like chilling, but a very nice sort of paced one. If you think of things like The Awakening, The Skeleton Key, even if you go back in time to The Amazing Mr. Blunden, that sort of story pace, it's like that. And it's absolutely wonderful. And Nicole Kidman, this is definitely her best role I've ever seen her in. I mean, I've seen her in this, I'm sure she was in A Skeleton Key, and she was pretty good in that too. And she was good in that old sort of film that she starred with Sam Neill, based on the boat. I can't remember that one. It's been so many years since I've seen it, but she was good in that too. But I love her in this film. She plays that sort of snobbery very, very well, and she's very, very convincing. And you can see that she's like, well, it's not explained at the beginning about her husband, that she's some sort of spinster, and she's sort of like, she plays that role professionally well. And she's stunning, isn't she? She's a stunning woman, and she's got that real sort of presence on the screen. And it's great. There's a great British actors in the film. You've even got Keith Allen makes an appearance in the film, and it's got the amazing Eric Sykes. Like I said, it's full of wonderful British actors as well. Really cool. Negatives: it could be a bit of a slow burn. If you like your horrors gory, fast, slashery, this is not for you. This is for your drama, your horror drama, your hauntings, your ghost stories. It's that sort of film, but it's very, very spooky and eerie. and it's really, really cool. I absolutely adore it. So I'm going to score the film an amazing watch and give it a 9 out of 10. It's nearly a 10 out of 10 for me. It just loses a point because it just loses something, and I'm not sure what. But it's lost a little something. I think I would like it to be more sort of darker. I think that's what. Although it's quite dark because the kids don't like light, but I'd like the storyline to be a bit darker. But apart from that, it's absolutely fantastic. The Others, 9 out of 10. Any of you seen it? If you have, let me know down below what you think of it. It's a really cool film. If you want to talk about underrated horror films, this is one. I think it's one of those films that just got lost, and it just got lost, and films progressed more, and public wanted more films that were, they still wanted haunted films, but they wanted them more jump scary, like The Woman in Black and things like that. This one harks back to almost like the Changeling sort of film, you know. It's that sort of slow paced film. So it's a unique horror fans film, and I'm a unique horror fan because I absolutely adore it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've watched it. I hope it's tickled your fancy to go and watch this amazing little film. It's such a good film. I highly recommend it. Please check out some horror channels for me, please. Check out Horror Hands, Horror Geek, Man v Film, RS Designs, Pizzawell, I Am the Ice Lord, Cat Watches Horror Movies. And a massive shout out to my lad, Mark. And I think he watched this because he's got this as well. And I think he scored it a 9 out of 10 to me because he really enjoyed it as well. I think he enjoyed the sort of eerie spookiness of the film. And the film pacing is really good. And it's got a cool ending. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.